A young life cut tragically short, a community searching for answers, and an investigation that has left many people asking the same questions. What really happened to Nolan Wells? In today's video, we'll carefully examine the known facts, the timeline of the event, and the investigation surrounding this heartbreaking case. This video is based on publicly available information, and our goal is to present the case respectfully while separating confirmed facts from speculations. Today's case is a case of Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells is a Southwest Mississippi college student. He is 18 years old. Nolan Wells graduated from a school called Ocean Spring High. He disappeared after he and his friends left to go visit an island called the Horn Island. They all went there to have a good time. The parents of Nolan described him to be a very sweet, loving person. He was so humble, he loved peace, and many people gravitated towards him. He was very friendly. They even narrate a story when Nolan was still in diapers. The mother says he and the father were having an argument. Nolan noticed there was tension in the room. He just ran into the room with his diapers and started dancing just because he wanted to calm down the tension. That was the person Nolan was, and that is how he grew up to be a very loving person, and many people loved him. That is how Nolan should be remembered. So the timeline of the event, the mother of Nolan says on the 3rd of July 2026, Nolan went to go spend the night at a friend's place because they had all planned to travel on the 4th to go to this island called the Horn Island to have a good time. So Nolan left the house on the 3rd of July. On the 4th of July, they all went to this island. Nolan was the only black among 4 white guys. His friends were white. And Nolan's parents said something concerning this, that Nolan did not care about skin color. He loved everybody. He just cared about people's personality. So all of these friends were white, and Nolan was the only black in this island. On that 4th of July, a concerned friend contacted the mother and said they have been trying to reach Nolan to no avail. Has she heard anything from Nolan? That is when she became concerned, because she says every time that the son will go out with his friends to have a good time, it was an 18-year-old boy just doing what 18 years are doing. They like to go out and hang out with their friends. But the mother says every time Nolan goes out, he will call her to update her. That when they'll reach the island, he will tell the mother we've already arrived. If they come back, he will tell the mother we just came back. Like, he will be updating the mother. But the mother realized he was not updating her on anything. They tried to reach him, they couldn't reach him. That is when the mother became concerned and they reported him missing to the authorities on that 4th of July. The 9th of July, they reported him missing to the authorities, and the search began. So on the 5th of July, the authorities went to the Horn Island and searched the whole river. They searched everywhere. They couldn't find Nolan. On the 6th of July, they found Nolan around 9 to 10 a.m. in the morning. The police immediately announced that Nolan had drowned and that they suspected no foul play. The parents of Nolan were not buying this story. They decided to hire a private attorney to conduct a private investigation. The parents of Nolan says Nolan is a good swimmer. He can swim very well. Even if he mistakenly fell into the water, he would have been struggling and somebody would have seen him. There were about 200 people on the Horn Island, And nobody saw Nolan. Nobody tried to help Nolan. They said they are not buying this story that Nolan drowned. There is much more that is still to be discovered in this case. And when the white friends were being asked about Nolan's whereabouts, why they left Nolan behind and came to the land without him, they said Nolan went there, saw a girl and was talking to that girl. He liked the girl. And when they were leaving, Nolan told them he wanted to stay behind. He would be coming with other people. That is what they said. When they asked the girl about this, the girl in question said Nolan was talking to her, but Nolan later told her he was going to meet the friends in the boat. So the story is not adding up. Either one person is lying or one person is saying the truth. And the friends even came to land with Nolan's phone. When they came back with Nolan's phone, they did not call the mother to tell the mother, like, we mistakenly took your son's phone. Your son's phone is with us. They kept the phone. The mother had to track the phone before a friend of hers went and collected the phone from one of Nolan's friend's house. That is how it went. So you could be asking this question. As a teenage boy, he was 18 years old. Which teenage boy will leave his phone behind? Will leave his phone for his friends to take it and he will stay behind? If Nolan wanted to stay behind, he would have asked for his phone. They wouldn't have gone with Nolan's phone. Things are not adding up here, guys. Many people are asking questions. Everybody is talking about this case. This case has become international. And many people are upset about this because this is not the first time a black kid will go out with white kids and the black kids will end up missing, will end up found drowned, and nothing will be done about it, no investigation. They will say the child drowned, period. People are asking for answers. People want transparency in this case, that this case should be treated like any human. The parents of Nolan are asking for transparency in this case. Everybody is asking for transparency. Everybody needs answers about what really happened to Nolan. They want this case to be investigated like any other person. Some people are saying if it were a white guy that drowned with 3 black kids, these 3 black kids will have been interviewed and forced to say the truth. That they want the same energy the police would have given when it comes to a white child. This same energy should be given to the case of Nolan. What do you think about this, guys? There is an update in this case. A lady came online yesterday and posted a video showing Nolan in a pool party with some friends. And she claimed she was in that pool party. That Nolan did not stay back as the friends are claiming. That Nolan came back with the friends and the friend had organized a pool party. All of them went to that pool party. That is where a fight broke up and Nolan was beaten. He tragically died there and they had to carry him back to the island. And some people are saying this is making a bit of sense. If Nolan was taken back to the island, that is why they found Nolan on the seat and not the feet. Because they had gone to the island on the feet, searched everywhere, and Nolan was nowhere to be found. And some people are not buying this lady's story because the mother of Nolan came out and said she does not know this lady and she has never spoken to her. This lady claimed she even called the mother of Nolan and told her about this, and that is why they hired a private investigation, and that is why they decided a different autopsy to be done with the body of Nolan. But remember, the lawyer that was hired said they decided to do a different investigation and a different autopsy because they don't trust the police in Mississippi. There have been in the past many cases that happened in Mississippi and they just treated it anyhow because it concerned a black. That is what he said. But this lady is claiming she is the one who called the mother of Nolan. That is why she decided to do a private investigation. Some people are saying this picture could be a pool party, but it could be from a different date. Some people are not believing this lady. Some people say this is actually Nolan in a pool party, but there is no proof that this pool party took place on the 5th of July. That this lady could just be using this situation to look for clout. This would be very despicable and shameful for somebody to use a time like this, somebody's child's tragic passing, to look for clout. This would be a very shameful thing if that is what this lady is doing. What do you think about this, guys? Remember, there was a video circulating showing that there was an altercation in the island. And people believe this altercation started in the island. That is why these friends did what they did to Nolan and throw him in the river. But a friend of theirs who was there came out and said Nolan was not the one in that altercation. He was the one in that altercation. But there are many questions that still need answers. How did Nolan's phone found itself in the land when Nolan was discovered in the water? Is it true that Nolan came back, they had a pool party, the friends did what they did to him, took him back to the island and threw him in the water? Is the timeline really matching? I will play you a video of the explanation of what happened in the island and on land.
If you're following the case of Nolan Wells, you need to hear this brand new information, because if it is true, it changes this entire case as a whole. So there's a picture going around that's getting a lot of attention that allegedly shows Nolan at a pool party at his friend's house before 1 a.m. on July 5th, the same night that he reportedly went missing and never returned from the island. And as you may remember, Nolan's parents said in their most recent press conference that when they checked his location on July 5th, he wasn't on the island anymore. And eventually, one of Nolan's friend's moms tracked down his phone and brought it to her, but when she looked at it, there were deleted messages, deleted photos, and they even deleted his entire Snapchat history. So this photo was apparently posted on Nolan's friend Evan's Instagram, but later deleted. And in one of the comments under that photo, this person, Elijah Spencer, says she was also at that pool party and Nolan was there as well. She said that Evan did not get into a fight with his friends on the island. He actually came back from the island with his friends to Evan's house and then got into a fight with them. She said she saw his friends arguing with him. They then took his phone, and when he asked for it back, things got physical, and she later saw Nolan on the ground gasping for air and spitting up blood. And of course, people started questioning her, saying, if you knew all of this, why didn't you notify police? And she said she did. That's how they got his phone, and his keys were on top of his Xbox. And of course, people asked, if he was at the pool party, then how did his body get discovered on the island? And she said because his friends were trying to cover up what actually happened, but she knows the truth. And she said that the truth is that his friends took him back to the island the next morning around 4 a.m. on July 5th and just left him there before his body was discovered just hours later. And as you may remember, his parents said it was very suspicious that he was found right there on July 6th when they went to the island the day before on July 5th and searched there all day and found nothing. They also said that the girl that Nolan was with on the island said that Nolan had left her and said that he was going to go back on his friend's boat, when his friends are claiming that he stayed back to talk to her. So clearly, one of them is lying. Let me know what you guys think about all of this.
I will play you another video of somebody debunking the fact that Nolan was in this pool party.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably the only creator who will come on here and take accountability and say he was wrong. Yes, this picture was taken. Yes, this picture was Nolan. No, it is not confirmed that this shit was taken after the July 4th boating incident. And for those of y'all who says you're gonna be skeptical of this case because Ben Crump is on it, you're 100% correct. Because where the hell do you think we got this picture from, huh? Why the hell would the lawyer post this shit if the timeline is unclear? What are you doing, Benjamin? Can you imagine being Nolan's parents and the first time you hear about this conspiracy conspiracy theory was on the internet, the first time you hear about this stud broad saying that she's a close family friend and that she talked to you and told you what happened was on the internet. Black lives matter to you people so much, but you're gonna purposefully speak on a dead black boy for clout. Since I'm not a liar, I don't assume people are lying. When this person said they were a witness to the beating, I believed them. And then the mother came out and said, I don't know this person and they don't know us. I think it's crazy that people lie in general, but to lie about something like this just for clout, I would never assume somebody would do something like that, but when I tell you so many creators, black and white, were reporting about the details of the autopsy that have not come out yet. None of the autopsy details have been made public, not from Mississippi and not for the independent autopsy. They had to fly the body to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy. None of these results have come out yet, y'all. Damn. But shame on you out here just lying. Now, I don't want y'all to get anything confused. In my humble opinion, I still think those boys did something to Nolan, but my opinion is not fact.
With the tragic passing of Nolan Wells, there are still many unanswered questions, but one question still stands. What really happened to Nolan Wells? Make sure you drop your opinion in the comment section and be respectful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video.